Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And I'm going to go straight into the point on this one. So in my previous video I mentioned that how other YouTube videos also mentioned that Vaughn basically ended up changing his Twitter picture to his old Xbox avatar, which suggested that that there might be a definite chance that the exclusivity might go back to the Xbox from PlayStation, and that it's possible that the contract with PlayStation could have definitely expired. But as of today, sometime today, I was looking at a video, and I guess there was an accidental leak or something like that, and it showed pretty much, long story short, when you put two and two together, it showed that PlayStation would still have the exclusivity deals for Call of Duty as opposed to it going back to Xbox. And that is where the idea for today's topic of discussion came to be. And I've mentioned this in a previous video of mine, and you know what? Between the whole Vonderhaar avatar picture on his Twitter to an accidental leak, quote unquote accidental leak from PlayStation or whatnot, they might just be sending us a message that, well, it may be time for cross-platform play. I do know, because I've seen a video on this way back, maybe the better part of a year ago or so, give or take, that that Xbox has pretty much extended their hand already to Sony about cross-platform play for certain multiplayer titles. And I'm not necessarily pointing the finger at Sony and saying, oh, they're the ones to blame or whatnot, because I'm sure there's a lot of in-betweens, a lot of things in between, and a whole bunch of politics that take place when it comes to making a decision like that. But we just need to leave. You know what? I think it's about time, especially for Call of Duty, at least for starters. You know, for Call of Duty, it's because it's also such a huge title, and even though Call of Duty has been, let's say, letting down a big part of the community for the last few years now, you know, I think it's about time not only for them to make up for it, but to also just mature up and just say, you know what? Yeah, let's make this happen. Doesn't matter whether you have an Xbox or PlayStation. Let's make cross-platform play happen, and let's eliminate the whole exclusivity bullshit. Because quite frankly, I mean, it is a business deal. But long story short, it is bullshit. I mean, they need to make this happen. I mean, first of all, I mean, I think it's safe to say that Activision definitely owes the Call of Duty community plenty as it is. Because quite frankly, in terms of console games and the amount of success they receive financially from the game, let's be real here. It's the fans that make Call of Duty successful. And these guys have earned billions upon billions of dollars every year, whether it be from the sale of the game itself or the microtransactions or both or whatever the hell you want to call it, DLC and everything in between. I think it's safe to say that they owe us one. As a matter of fact, they probably owe us much more than that. And one of the biggest things they can do is basically make cross-platform play possible. It doesn't matter whether you have an Xbox or a PlayStation. All the player base for Call of Duty is going to be united. So, and while they're at it, they might as well put the player count in the main lobby, so that way you can see just how many players are online as well. It's been something that's been missing from games. All we get at the most is basically a percentage, you know, like, oh, 30% of players are playing this game type, 30% of players are playing that game type. Just eliminate it. Just that's BS. I mean, back in the day, you know, I mean, regardless of how much the game has sold, there's always been a certain number of players that are online, and it clearly says it. So let's just eliminate all the BS and make cross-platform play possible. There's not a better time than now. And and one other thing, the Call of Duty community really, it's gonna push it a step in the right direction in terms of the Call of Duty community being united, or should I say reunited at this point, because everybody's pretty much spread apart. There's certain players playing this game, there's certain players playing that game, there's certain players that have migrated over to games like Fortnite and PUBG, which is great. And there's always going to be players that are going to be playing Fortnite and PUBG, regardless of what game they like. But it's really good to bring players back to Call of Duty that have left, that have recently left, and that have been long gone as well. And yeah, I mean, and as far as the oh, I'm a PlayStation guy, I'm an Xbox guy. I mean, sure, there's a few console exclusives that decide, you know, which, you know, what console players will gravitate towards, as well as the price. But I think, you know, at this point, you know, if anybody says, you know, PlayStation is better than Xbox or Xbox is better than PlayStation, you know, that's great to have your opinion and everything like that. But if you got people that are taking it to a point to where they start disrespecting other people for preferring one console over another. That's just plain stupidity and immaturity, in my humble opinion. And I'm passionate about this subject. We need to get rid of the whole exclusivity, or the fact that the player base, okay, at the very least, we need to get rid of the fact that the player base is divided by what console they choose when it comes to Call of Duty. And you know what? Also, this will be a good example. This will be the perfect time also to set the example for other games as well. Because I know that there are plenty of fans that play different games that are not like Call of Duty or whatnot, and the player count is separated by the consoles. Let's make cross-platform thing. Let's make cross-platform play a thing. And with a player base and a player count as big as Call of Duty's, especially when the players are combined from both consoles, it'll be the perfect example for other games to take place in this as well. Obviously, both Xbox and Sony are always going to have their exclusives, which is fine. Who knows? Maybe we're living in an era to where maybe that'll be eliminated one day as well. Who knows? I mean, and then at the same time, people will say, well, what's the point in getting a console? One console and over another, which is, again, understandable, but just kind of throwing that out there for the sake of interesting conversation. But I think it's time. And if this is something, let's put it this way. You know how it says, the whole slogan is forget what you know in terms of Black Ops 4, forget what you know. Well, let's let this be one of the things that we can forget about. Let's forget about the whole, Xbox players play on this console, Sony plays on this console, and let's unite everybody. If this is the big change that they want to make and revolutionize it, this will be one of the big things. Dedicated servers is another, and obviously COD Royale would be another thing, which rumors are pretty strong about that, but only time will tell. In May, in due time, we will find out, and it's going to be exciting. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this subject. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think players should stay in terms of certain multiplayer games, like Call of Duty, for instance? Do you think that the player base should be divided, or do you think that they should be united? And yeah, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.